for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
I have sinned against you, my Lord.
Okay, TV evangelists can be a little over the top, but Creflo Dollar's appeal for a private jet may take the cake.
We are believing for 200,000 people to give contributions of $300 US or more.
Doing the math, that's $60 million. The head of the World Changers megachurch in Atlanta asked for the donations in this almost 6-minute video, dubbed Project G650, as in Gulfstream 650. Dollar's already a high flyer.
We're about to land in Nairobi, Kenya.
But it seems his current jet, built in 1984, is showing its age. Engine trouble on a flight to Australia, and more recently, when his wife and daughters were taking off from London, it went off the runway.
It's not like a car where you can pull over on the side when something goes wrong. And I knew it was time to begin to believe God for a new airplane.
It didn't take long for the story of the Jesus jet, as some have dubbed it, to take off, and not in a good way. This woman is a former parishioner. She showed up Sunday to protest, but got told to leave church property.
Creflo didn't have a jet when I was here, and now he has one, and he's asking for another one.
But parishioner Mary Jones, who takes the bus to church, says she'd happily give to Dollar's jet drive.
Most definitely, most definitely. We support our pastor. That's what we're here for.
Dollar asks parishioners to give 10% of their income to the church, but gives no public accounting of how the millions are spent. MinistryWatch.com is a website that helps donors tell, financially, the good from the bad.
We have in the past identified 30 of the top ministries and 30 of the worst ministries. And unfortunately, Creflo Dollar fell onto the worst category. And the main reason for that was his lack of financial transparency.
To find out more of how Dollar wants to spend his dollars, I called Daniel Jennings. He's a big seller of private jets.
This isn't kind of an entry-level jet. It's not even a mid-level jet.
This is the top of the game jet.
The Gulfstream 650 is the largest, longest distance, second fastest private jet in the world. And to get one, Dollar may need more than money. He might need divine intervention. The wait for a new one is 4 years, and there are only 4 used ones for sale in the entire world.
If I wanted to buy a gently used one, what do you think that did set me back?
Low 70s, 71, 72 million.
Do they finance?
Well, there's no peace in this house of worship. New Era Detroit stages a protest that turns into a brawl. That video right there has since gone viral.
Now, this is the same church that recently hosted Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump. But this protest is about more than just politics. Fox News' Randy Wimley live now with the exclusive story. Randy.
Yeah, guys, this has a lot more to do than just politics. New Era Detroit, they call it church accountability. Taking congregations to task for not serving the community, in their estimation, as those churches should. They say something doesn't add up when a pastor makes a lot of money, drives a luxury car, and yet the people who live near his church are in poverty. A scuffle inside the sanctuary after New Era Detroit protests during a worship service. Bro, let me go, man. Let's go. Zeke, the leader of the group, offered no apologies for the dust-up at Great Faith Ministry Saturday, only the reasoning behind it.
This situation is bigger than just Wayne T. Jackson. This is about black churches and black pastors who live a lavish life on behalf of the people, and they're not giving back to their community.
He's referring to Bishop Wayne T. Jackson, the wealthy pastor that welcomed Donald Trump, drives a Rolls-Royce, and lives in a mansion. Zeke was there for the offering Saturday.
When they started the offering at $1,000, and then they said if you don't got $1,000, then do $300. And if you don't got cash, then we got ATM machines. I don't understand that logic. I don't understand that way of thinking, and I don't understand that to be what religion is.
New Era Detroit says the neighborhood surrounding Great Faith Ministries is by and large impoverished.
This guy has networks, churches, fancy cars, you know what I mean, $1 million houses, and there's babies in this community that's going without food at night. Somebody has to be frustrated about this enough to do something that would get people's attention, and that's what New Era Detroit did.
Here's the thing. Pick up the phone. Call. Right. I want to talk to you, Apostle. Right. Apostle's a very fair man. He would meet with you. He would talk to you. What's your issue? But to do it that way, that is so disrespectful.
And members of Great Faith Ministry say New Era Detroit has their church and their pastor all wrong.
Our bishop give away homes, cars.
They say he's an astute businessman. Juanita Kinney says he's one with a heart of gold.
And when he found out that I didn't have anywhere to live, within an hour he was calling me back, telling me to go and look at an apartment. And because of that, and because of the love from him and his wife, I now have my own place.
You should talk to people that he's hired. Ex-cons, people that were in prison. He's done so much work for this community. There are homes that he's bought and gave to people. But Zeke don't know that.
Many feel New Era Detroit crossed the line and violated a sacred space. They even drew comparisons to Dylan Roof, the man who walked into a church service and gunned down 9 people in Charleston, South Carolina.
They can't come in here and think they're going to take over our service, have our women and children, mothers up in here terrified, and they're talking about that they are out there protecting the community. Right. This is a community up in here.
That's right. Hindsight is 2020. Given all this being said, would you do it all over again?
Absolutely. We would definitely do it all over again. Would we tweak something? Absolutely. We would probably tweak up a few things and change it, but going back, no. We would definitely go in there again, and they better get their act together because we just might be back.
Even so, the leader of New Era Detroit says he is open to having a sit-down with Bishop Wayne T. Jackson and the pastors of other churches that New Era Detroit has protested. Stay tuned. Hugh, Taryn.
Well, Randy, I mean, $1,000 is a lot of money to ask for an offering, but you said about a conversation, but what does the New Era group want the bishop to do, and what do they plan to do if he doesn't?
Well, you heard just in that last soundbite, they may show up here again. We don't know if that's going to happen, but he said that's something that they're definitely open to. But New Era Detroit, they say they want to see churches doing more to better serve and improve the living conditions of the communities in which those churches are in. And so this is a story that raises a lot of questions about the function of a church. What does a local congregation owe the community that it's in? And so New Era Detroit, they're definitely raising that issue. They say there are some churches that are doing a good job of this, but in their estimation, there are many that are not. Great Faith Ministries being one of them.
It is certainly interesting because we know he's not the only rich preacher out there. So obviously more to come on this one. Thanks, Randy.
Outside are where we're destined to deal with, and everybody know what we are dealing with. Understand? African history, black redemption, Rastafari, eat good food, and smile sometimes. So much I want to take up a book since Black History Month. I even go up on a computer or on an iPhone and just examine something that is of relevance to our situation as African people who domiciled on these farmer slave plantation islands, who has gotten education from the same people them who enslave us. Them give away, feel them God. How can the slave master, God, do anything for the slave? And how can the slave pray to the God that the slave master pray to? We continue the journey, you know. We continue the journey because, you know, says, we say it again, we're going to say it many, many times. The things them that you believe, you know, will start tossed by people who believe them know. Serious thing. Can we repeat it again? Yes. the things that we believe we know was taught to us by people who believe them know. And belief is something else. We have to go try, get rid of it, and search for knowledge. And if you get old, you get through experience, you get wisdom. Because that is what experience teach you. Knowledge supposed to gear you up for the tram car, the train, the plane, the bus, where's ahead of you, where come lick you. Because that is life. Life just lick your boof. And it's not the falling down, you know, it's the getting up. It's not the falling down, it's the getting up. So we have to know, say, yes, we have to continue getting up every time, FM. You know, we have a sound clip where we have played for years, we have played. I only you might not know, but the bridging there who did the sound clip pass where I go pass for years, but him did have one of the only awards in Jamaica. The reggae awards. Him used to have a reggae award, and I remember I used to keep it out what you call it, oh gosh, man. Mandela, which part of the cotton tree used to there. A whole lot of people even know so a cotton tree used to there in front of the police station. I know, I don't know if you say, 6 miles, past 6 miles. Anyway, Bagger Brown is a voice where you've been hearing on this program here for years. And him used to be on radio. One of the tallest man on radio too. Well, we have an argument just so honoring Bagger Brown at Linstead Black Togetherness. Linstead Black Togetherness, the third staging of the annual Black History and Reggae Month Awards ceremony and concert will be held on Sunday, February 24th, 2019 at the Rose Duncan Park in Linstead, St. Catherine. This year they will be recognizing and honoring Mr. Basil Bagger Brown via presentations of a tributary citation and plaque to his family. Bagger Brown used to pass with a radio station here too. Bagger Brown used to be on radio, and we have maybe the only soundbite of Bagger Brown left about the place. You understand? So we give thanks to that. We give thanks, say, we did have even have foresight for no say, yes. And a matter of fact, you know, I him did volunteer for do it for me. That time in the early 90s, when the program did just start on the radio, him volunteer for do it. I could say, okay, all right, I could say, we're supposed to do this interview. Meanwhile, before we start the interview, I could go and play this tune that we did play before, and line up the interview. I'm gone. All right. Operator, catch him back there for me now. Yeah, Sons of Maestro coming through. Alton Ellis breaking up. This is the Cutting Edge and IRFM. So we'll tell you about the tribute to Bagger Brown. We have on the line Geraldo. How you doing, man? Geraldo?
Yeah, man, Ronaldo.
Sorry, Ronaldo. Sorry, sir. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. You know,
all right.
I want to take in some breeze, you know?
I never know, say, when you have a show like this out only the Linstead. How much years now I run it?
It's the third year, you know. Yeah,
oh, the third year. Okay. And now, when I go pay a tribute to a brethren where we hold dearly on this program for years.
Is a man where
smoking lyrics like a bazooka. You are listening to Mutabaruka.
One of the most famous jingles in life. One of the most famous jingles. Anyway, you go here, man, say Mutabaruka, like bazooka.
Yeah, man, true that.
For those of you who don't know, that voice is the man who we are talking about just now, who's going to get an honor and come in Linstead Black together and celebrating greatness, honoring our community heroes. Rose Duncan Park, Linstead Square, St. Catherine, Sunday, February 24th, 6 p.m. All right. Tell me exactly now what spur on this event here.
All right. Well, naturally, you know, as I said 3 years ago, me and a brother of mine, man Carl Gibbs, because actually he was the first one who thought of it, you know? Because, you know, we just did it as two people deep in our black consciousness, you know what I mean? We are reason and we are talking about the whole Black History Mountain. Massive boy, Linstead, you know? There are some great people pass through Linstead that were staying at the community where necessarily nobody never beat them up. Because, you know, we have like Jack Privy, you know? Safety Dad and them kind of man there, you know? Legan, Kogi, you know? Write music for all Bob and them kind of thing. All of them people are there among other people, teachers, and, you know? All sort of people. I just decide to well, start, you give them people, pay them some respect and give them some honor, you know?
Yeah. All right.
And I just started.
All right, so I know they say you have quite a few others who put up on the honorary apart from Bagger.
Yeah.
What is it? What is for them claim to this honor? Or you decide you're going to select all these people for it?
Yeah, man, as I say, it's a thing where we decide that people contribute to the overall development of the Linstead community. And, you know, other joining years over the years. We do significant things that the whole community know about.
All right, you can take them one by one and tell me what is them claim to this honorary.
Yeah, man.
Like Upton Henry. Who is Upton Henry?
Man. Upton Henry is a retired pool teacher and he serve on many of the board. I think as a matter of fact he's a member right now of the Community Development Committee. You know, a man when he said tireless to serve the community, the people, do a lot of things for the people, you know, the youth, them inspire youth physically, do things to help youth. You know, a lot of people come out of the community and successful certain way, you know?
Yeah, I'm touch them.
Yeah, man.
Linval Tenant.
All right. Linval Tenant now is a police officer for many years. I'm sure over 25 years. And he's also the leader of a band, George Washington band, but not George Washington. A man with name so related, you know what I mean? He's a man, the leader of that band, and many, he have whole heap of different programs, even like Feed That. You know, one of them police where everybody in the community love and respect.
Yeah. If you talk to the local youth, them and all them way there.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. All right. Well, Legan, we don't have to call him last name, but Legan, I hope I the same Legan where we are talking about, you know.
I see him, man.
Me and him used to move together, you know.
Yeah, man, we hear all of that.
Yeah, man, me and him used to during the times them I doing play and I him ride roadblock, you know.
I never know that.
Yeah, I him ride roadblock for Bob Marley.
Yeah, man, I know. But we know, yeah, man, definitely right. Songs for Bob. I never know roadblock specifically, but we know him right songs for Bob.
Legan, man, I'm still about you.
Yes, man.
You give, why you give him the award? Why you honor him?
While honoring Legon?
As a community. No, well, me know why, you know, but me just want to know.
Oh, okay, within the community.
Yeah.
The inspiration, man, is a man that never left out the community and represent the community all the while. As me say, physically help. Most of them people are people where literally help the youth, them of the community among other people. Not just the youth, even elders, whoever, you know.
Yeah.
Various ways.
All right, so the next person, I'm a relative, Herbert.
I want to let, this man is my father.
All right. What you pronounce that name, the Garik?
Garik,
yeah, Garik.
French, brother.
Yeah, all right. What him do? Other from be your father?
All right. Tell you what, no, you're going to counsel have to pass to periods, whatever you call them. The past 2 periods.
You might have counselor for
it? Yeah, man, is a counselor, trust me. The people, everybody. I give a joke about it. It's a committee pick the persons, you know.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And me, I try to avoid a little politics looking thing. You know what I say, boy, father, this and the man.
Well, you couldn't get her from it.
You want that, you know.
You couldn't get her from it, eh?
No, never say this man deserving thing. Even some of the other honorary them when we present them letters and I say we honor you this year. Them first thing them saying so to your father.
Yeah. And then Van Stanberry.
Yeah, come on now. This is a businessman in the community where, trust me, anything, everything, you know, him ready, contribute, him put in, you know.
Yeah. What kind of business him do?
Do a lot. He has a company, Buried on Financial Services.
Okay.
So,
him the man with our money go to
foreign exchange and thing, you know.
Him is a big sponsor of this thing, huh?
Not necessarily this year, you know, but
years before.
Years the man. This year is still a sponsor, man, you know, but him always on board, man, as me say, always.
All right, Ruby 10.
Ruby 10 now is a justice of the peace, a member of the Linfield Community Development Committee, a volunteer, you know, the best volunteer our time and our effort. Community servant, the people, them, everybody know how the JP them can go to, you know.
Yeah.
I said them work with the development committee and these people in Lindsay, trust me, them do a lot.
Wesley Scott,
Justice of the Peace.
Oh, that's Justice.
Yes, but he's also he's a man that has been involved in many cultural things in Lindsay and the cultural movement in Lindsay. Even I think I'm not totally remember, because maybe one of my committee members also could tell them more, but I don't remember the exact, but I know say like participating in festivals. I think Sepidar, you know Sepi? Oh, I think yeah, well, you know, Sepidar is a man where tell I say this brother is very integral in even certain Pan-Africanism, you know.
Okay,
you know?
All right, that name is kind of funny. Dr. Kotaya Kachakada.
Yeah, I want to say this man now is a doctor who is not he's not a black person then.
He's like an Indian.
Yes, but how much years now? Older than I can't tell, 5-10 years. Is a doctor, is a community doctor, whether you have it or have it or whatever, you know?
Yeah. Sylvester Hunt.
Serve the people. All them son now a doctor at the hospital and thing, you know?
Yeah. Sylvester Hunt. Yeah.
Sylvester Hunt is...
Body them call him.
I want to tell you now, Sylvester Hunt is a member of how many different boards. The man a teacher too, you know. How many different boards, how many different community activities.
He's a friendly brethren. He's a friendly brethren. That's why I'm calling Body.
I don't know the king.
No, them say Sylvester Body.
You know, say I don't know, all right.
You don't know him?
I don't know him, because I put it to you that way. I am not even from the community, you know.
Yeah, but maybe he's a good body to the ladies. You know, the ladies must love him as a body. So, Sylvester,
it sounds to me, but we don't know.
Well, the most reason why them call him Body. You know, he's a good friend.
Yeah, my dad.
Every lady should have a body, you know. Hello?
Yeah, man,
I
laugh, though.
All right. All right, Mrs. Thelma Johnson.
This lady had one of the very first basic schools. The educator, most people tell them come out of Lindsay, they tell us, say, man. And as I said, all of them people are the kind of people, whether they have money or not. Not no way back from me, you know. And people them love them community and do. As I said, them do so much for the people of the community. Lindsay is a very big community, and anywhere you go and people see them name and them proud and feel good, and I say, yes, man. You know what I mean?
We start a farm over there, you know. I don't know if you didn't know. A big farm over there where me and a brother named Takura used to manage up. And
I know that Takura, man.
Yeah, we used to plant no pumpkin and thing over there and thing.
Which part of the lead state?
You see the roundabout where you come off of the main road there, so as you turn left and then you turn right sudden, on a dirt road go around, so. I don't know the place name, so believe you me. But we were around there quite a while until the bridging passed away. The bridging Cliffy, where you used to own the gas station.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long this now do?
I go look a while. How long you been now?
Everywhere I develop to the place, you know, where you didn't know like that. When last pass through Linstead.
When last pass through Linstead? I will me take you now, you know. I will me take you now. Anyway, we want to remind the people them that this thing will be held on Sunday, February 24th, starts at 6 p.m. sharp. And it's a community development program, Black History Month style.
Yeah, man, that thing is from the community. If you notice, you know, the businesses and the people, even the barber, them, everybody from Jamaica National Bank, the barber, them, and everybody just chip in and make the thing work, you know?
Everybody chip in. We love that.
Yeah, man, from, as you say, for all the community, from the community.
Yeah, all right, sir. Blessed, give thanks.
We are come down outside broadcast tomorrow, you know? We are going to do that, man.
Oh,
RFM curving, you know?
Oh, you mean today? You mean tomorrow, yeah?
Yes, man.
Oh, yeah.
That's live, man. Man, like Papa Curvin, them, man. You know Papa Curvin?
We have to know Papa Curvin,
yes,
man.
Man.
Drummer, man.
Man, all him.
Boney M. Drummer in Germany. Or you mean if we know Papa Curvin?
All right, Papa. We are come link up with Papa down there, and you know, we'll have vibes.
All right, sir. Man. Yeah, man, give thanks. Rose Duncan Park, Linstead Square, this Sunday, February 24th. Linstead Black together and celebrating greatness. Give thanks, brethren.
Yes, man. Nothing stop motor.
Yeah, man. We like them kind of community thing, and as we look upon it, we see a whole heap of ones involved. We sponsor in the community. It's not outside the community, so the community are come together to do this thing. Yeah. We love that. And as we say, this brethren, yeah.
Provoking, always smoking. Lyrics like a bazooka. You are listening to Mutabaruka. Provoking, always smoking. Lyrics like a bazooka. You are listening to Mutabaruka.
Yeah, that is the brethren named Basil Bagger Brown, who will be getting a special honor from these ones in a Linstead. Yeah. And we really say, we feel good for no say, the brethren there for years. I can't remember how much years now, maybe at, I don't know, 20 years. Right, how much you old is?
27.
You are 27?
Yeah.
You're serious? I never know, say, I think about 19, 20, 30. You know, I say, what, 27? A big thing that we're going to do that now, say, you're 27, you know. That means you're a big boss to one bad man. Fight a big boss to one man. Well, I tell you, them fight a city inside with me in the night time, you know, the first fight I ever come along, you know. Me want to know, if I'm going to tell me why exactly him come along here tonight, because from I know this future, him never come down the studio here yet. I don't know, it's what make him down here, so. Anyway, we give thanks to see him still come sitting with me. I'm a brethren. Yeah, man, I'm a brethren. Love him more than all Jesus love little children, man.
about the youth, we talk about the me, we talk about the things that we should do. Talk about the love that we should share amongst each other. We talk about the bed, we talk. Talk about the you, we talk about the me, we talk about the things that we should do. Talk about the love that we should share amongst each other. We talk about the red, we talk about the white, talk about the Indian, talk about the Syrian, talk about the Chinese, talk about the Arabian, all over the land. We are a part of the almighty plan that we should be here on this land. And just like the bird, and just like the bees, and just like the trees, and just like the grass, and just like the fishes, we are to be here. Loving one another, caring for each other. Take care of your garden and live to your elder and gray. No, no, no. Na 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 na. But man prefer these things more than you and me. Talk about your plane, talk about your train, talk about your bones, talk about your corn, talk about your jeep. They show love for it more than humanity. But we should be loving one another, caring for each other. You are talking to
Yeah, brethren, a foundation, all him call himself Keith. Keith the Foundation, you know, yes.
Fear no, mankind will never live in.
He might put him stamp on it, which will say him about long time.
We divide us with water. But mankind find ways and means to build things to transport their evil. Talk about your bone, you talk about your plane, talk about your train, talk about your jeep, talk about your truck, to transport guns and bombs. Talk about the black, talk about the white, talk about the Indian, talk about the Syrian, talk about the Chinese, talk about the Arabian. Our nation mixed up in corruption. Walk on by the money, can't come with the evening.
I know, me not believe that. Me not believe so the gone by the man can't go the evening, you know. Believe you, me all time people say it. Can't know celebration is a whole time man, you know. Yes. Anyway, here we are saying so now. Pat Clark.
Welcome to Jamaican Roots and Culture. I'm your host, Pat Clark. Jamaica's history is replete with the ebb and flow of issues arising from colonization. The majority of the island's population is of African ancestry. Our forefathers were forcibly taken from Africa and enslaved on European-owned plantations in the Caribbean. Jamaica, being a former colony of Britain, was obliged to send citizens to fight in the Second World War. In 1948, Britain had just started to recover from World War II. Thousands of buildings had been bombed, loads of houses were destroyed, and it all needed to be rebuilt. Lots of young Jamaican men and women had served in the British Armed Forces because at the time, many Caribbean countries were still under British rule and not yet independent. After the war, some of these people responded to an offer to come to Britain, where there were lots of different jobs to help to rebuild the country. Indeed, many felt it was their obligation to help out. They got on a ship, the Empire Windrush, which left the Caribbean to travel thousands of miles across the Atlantic. This was the first time so many Jamaican and Caribbean people had come to live in Britain. Many more arrived in the following years. It was on June 22nd, 1948, when the Empire Windrush arrived at Tilbury Docks in Britain. When the passengers landed, they didn't always get the friendly welcome they had hoped for. Many of them experienced racism and discrimination and often found it hard to get proper homes to live in and to make friends with British people. It wasn't always easy for the new arrivals to get jobs. Some companies said they didn't want black people to work for them. Later, many of their children were bullied at school because of the color of their skin. Some of them suffered racial attacks, and in later years, there were riots in cities across Britain.
Jim started to wriggle. The police started to giggle. Mama, make I tell you what them do to Jim. Mama, make I tell you what them do to him. Them thump him in him belly and it turn to jelly. Them lick him on him back and him rib get pop. Them lick him on him head but it tough like lead. Them kick him in him seed and it started to bleed. Mama, I just couldn't stand up there and do nothing. So me juke one in him eye and him started to cry. Me thump one in him mouth and him started to shout. Me kick one on him shin and him started to spin. Me thump him on him chin and him drop on a bin and crash.
It's over 70 years since the Empire Windrush sailed to Britain from the Caribbean. Now, some of the people who arrived in the UK as children with their parents have been told that they lived there illegally. In 1971, these people were told they could stay permanently, but the government didn't keep a full record of them. Some of these people didn't apply for official paperwork like UK passports. In 2012, there was a change to immigration law in Britain, and people were told they needed official documents to prove they could get things like free hospital treatment or benefits in that country. This led to some being sent to immigration detention centers and facing deportation. On February 6, 2019, some of these people were deported.
The flight that's bound from Birmingham to Kingston has taken off, and I believe took off at 8:16 this morning, and is due to land in Kingston, Jamaica, with approximately 30 Jamaican nationals who have been deported from the United Kingdom. I think it's very cruel to do such things and to anybody, no matter what crimes they've committed. Everybody deserves a chance to be rehabilitated, particularly if they've been living in the UK for a long time.
Rachel Okello. The visit of former British Prime Minister David Cameron to Jamaica in September 2015 was a precursor to this event, and it is ironic that he had offered to provide a prison as contribution to infrastructural development in Jamaica. He also refused to apologize for the role that his ancestors played in the slave trade during the era of Jamaican colonization.
British Prime Minister David Cameron urges Caribbean countries to move on during his visit to Jamaica amid calls to apologize for his country's role in the historic slave trade. But his calls to bury the past were met with mixed feedback. Cameron's first cousin, 6 times removed, apparently owned slaves in Jamaica until the UK abolished slavery in 1833. And the issue of former slave-owning nations compensating former colonies continues to be a hot topic in the Caribbean.
Cambric Holdwall. Many Jamaicans were upset over the offer of a prison by the British Prime Minister, and the feeling is best captured by the words of a poem from the poet Wise Words.
The gift of England has weighed heavily on our minds. Never in history is a gift of this kind. Wrapped in memories of 1865, where hundreds perished and few were left alive. From we born, traits of slavery are following, and not even a little apology. This is what my ancestors fought and died for. And if a prison you are come with, take it back. We don't want that a yard, take it back. And if a prison you are come with, take it back. So we don't want that at all, take it back.
So, on February 6, 2019, The plane landed with a portion of the descendants of the Windrush generation. Again, another set of African descendants taken from a land that they had once called home and transplanted to Jamaica. The cycle continues. For Jamaican Roots and Culture, I'm Pat Clark.
Yeah, that was Pat Clark talking about the Windrush generation. You know, we are told that the government get money for each prisoner where them send back long here, you know. Yeah, we tell you, so them get money. It's like them get PFA, take back the people them. You know, I wish country say, them a send, what them call it, deport people, and the government say them nah take them. Because sometimes them send some people go at some country and another country them come from, you know. Yeah, sometimes them make some mistake and feel say, everybody at Jamaica, like first time you used to go up National Avenue. You know, National Avenue full up a whole heap of Caribbean people, you know, but everybody come from Jamaica. Already hear them with them accent, you know. Because sometimes the foreigner can't know the accent, the Trinidadian accent, because them using the Jamaican accent so much. So when the Trinidad go like him at Jamaica now, and him do something, like them find him a sell weed or drugs on the road or something, some gun thing. Them at the poor them come at Jamaica, and them not tell them to them not come from Jamaica either. You know, if you go far in Jamaica, get bad name all the while. But this is a serious thing for some people. Live in England for all 40, 50 years. And here to them I get deported, come back to Jamaica, where them don't know nothing about Jamaica. Them don't know nothing. When them left here, them never have airport. Because banana boat, some of them go on. Terrible thing. Terrible. We are continuing the journey, you know. We want to continue the journey by, we could play this what I'm bringing to Amy Ashwood Garvey. You know, only for ones don't know who Amy Ashwood Garvey is, but I'll tell you that this is Black History Month and we continue the journey that we're there. We want to play a record, you know, we play many times before. But we can't play too much because we have to make it ring in our ears and ring in our consciousness. Amy Ashwood Garvey was Marcus Garvey's first wife. And she used to officiate over the UNI some of the meetings them. What you're going to hear is an actual speech by Amy Ashwood about Garvey. And a woman singing, I can't tell you what the woman name now. The woman named Thelma Mussey. She's a singer, and Amy Ashwood is the speaker. And this is very historical. You know, me have a little book, and you know, so me have to go find it back, you know, where Marcus Garvey used to write, you know, when he in a prison. He used to scribble things in it. You know, so me have to go find it. Me have to find it, you know. Now that me I remember, you know, me I think about it. Through me I talk about this thing here, we're documented by record. We take it off of the record and put it on CD, you know, we take it off of the CD and put it on, what them call it, hard drive. But me could come forward to hear me Ashwood.
Are you ready for something mega? Drive out of Megamart in a 2019 Toyota RAV4 in the Megamart Mega Wheels promotion. Just spend $4,000 or more before GCT for a chance to win. Plus, you could win a massage chair valued at over $300,000 or a 65-inch Samsung Smart TV. The more you shop, the more chances to win. Enter now at your nearest Megamart location. Hurry, I'm gonna win this Mega Wheels. See for details. Authorized on Section 283 of the Betting, Gaming and Lottery Act. Megamart, best value by far.
Imagine a Jamaica where every child has a family, a Jamaica where every child is inspired to dream, where they are loved, protected, and cared for. You can help make this dream a reality by fostering a child. For more information on how you can become a foster parent, call the Child Protection and Family Services Agency at 948-2841-2 or apply at any of our locations island-wide. We dare you to inspire hope and foster a child.
Poetry in Motion 2019. It's in the rhythm of the tongue, bringing wordless music into the air. And the Africa Forum, Running African, is live from the Manchester Golf Club, Sunday, February 24. Poetry in Motion 2019. It's in the steady beats, the sonorous rise and fall of speech. And the Africa Forum, Running African, is live from the Manchester Golf Club.
If your hunter ever tell the story of the hunter.
Sunday, February 24.
Here I am again, trying to
It's Poetry in Motion 2019, Manchester Golf Club Mandeville, Sunday, February 24. The Africa Forum, Running African, recognizing the moving spirit of poetry, Sunday, February 24, from 6 a.m. Live from the Manchester Golf Club Mandeville, Sunday, February 24, from 6 a.m. Poetry in Motion 2019, live on IRE FM.
Stars Are salutes Reggae Month, Saturday, February 23rd at the Randy Williams Entertainment Center, featuring Ken Booth, Admiral Bailey, Jack Radix, Josie Wales, Big Youth, Derek Morgan, Admiral Tibet, Carl Dawkins, The Tenors, Tony Tuff, Paul Elliott, and Jacotta. Backing band Lloyd Parks and We the People. Music by Classique with Senior Daly. Admission 2,500 pre-sold, 3 at the gate. Tickets available at Derek Harris, Twin Gate Plaza, York Pharmacy, Halfway Tree, Total Dunrobin Avenue, Richard B's Wholesale Liquor, Mary Brown's Corner, and Portmore Mall Pharmacy.
When me say that I'm farm, over make a vibe so me gone, over work yard and pan the land. Aye, that farm music by Scrappy and Lagan, ladies free all night, that's the plan. What we say, top farm, mega vibes. Thursday, February 21st, Oak Gardens, admission 500.
Must be 18 or older, ID required, drink responsibly.
Ocho Seafood Fest Promotions in association with the Financial Services Commission present Retro Vibe Sunday and Media Appreciation Sunday, February 24 at the new Ocho Rios Fishing Village in Ocho Rios, St. Anne, starting at 10 a.m. Bring out the entire family to come live with your favorite media personalities. Lots of giveaways, prizes, and surprises. Music by Popular Sounds, Bass Odyssey, and Gemini Disco. Admission is free. That's Retro Vibe Sunday, Fisherman's Beach, Ocho Rios. See you there.
Yo, Phil, me tired and thirsty, you know, man. I would have drink something well cool right now.
It's your lucky day, cause my wife, she pack a extra Reggae Buzz juice drink.
Boy, me don't know ya, man. Me just a try keep her from them sugar juice, you know, cause them just a fill up eye belly.
Hey, let me tell you something. Reggae Buzz juice drink have up to 70% less sugar, and them have some amazing flavors. Limeade, kiwi, strawberry, fruit medley. Make me tell you, man, healthy can taste great too.
Reggae Buzz juice drink, print my logo.
This would have changed any life. New house in your name, make everything right. When this no I bust feel like kite. What is going on here? Grace and you a house. And you can take house. We are take care of the bills, insurance, appliance for the house. Aye, Grace and you a house. And you can take house. So we come a lucky contestant to compete for the house.
Enter with 5 different Grace labels plus 1 Grace Katsu packet. Conditions apply. See press for details.
We know house from Grace.
Change Experience 2019 is coming to Kingston, Jamaica. Join Creflo and Taffy Dollar as they bring you inspirational teaching and healing in the 3 Holy Spirit-filled sessions. Receive revelation, healing, and prayer on Friday, February 22nd at 10 a.m., 2 p.m., and 7 p.m. at the Pegasus Hotel, 81 Knutsford Boulevard. Let the light of God's Word ignite your faith and strengthen you. Invite your family and friends to join you. Tickets are free. Register today at creflodollarministries.org.
Just touched down in the airport.
No, you know the boy and me and the Lynch. Alongside the General Skinny. Presents the bodies from party on the planet. This year, Rainy Hill. Watching them on Tuesday, the 26th of February. Our Rosalie Surrender, Alexander Market House Center. This year, Rainy Hill. Music by the Rain Never Mobile. Base Odyssey. Madras. Chipaka Honey Killer. Team Sheller. No run party no more than this. Who da hear the boy advice? This a Rain Never Rainy Hill. Yo, Tuesday, the 26th of February. No, Alexander Market House Center. Must be 18 years or older to drink. Drink responsibly.
Irie FM, the official Jamaican radio station of the Gargamel Music Boom Buju Long Walk to Freedom concert, will be sending several lucky listeners to the March 16 show free. All you have to do is to continue listening to Irie FM daily from now till March 14 and be the first to answer the question asked on random days to win yourself a ticket to see this much anticipated event set for the National Stadium in Kingston. Yes, the People Station, Irie FM, could be your opportunity to see Buju live for the first time in a decade for free.
I listen to everything on Irie FM.
Junction St. Elizabeth joined the Yardman LPG team at the official launch of their cooking gas products this Friday. The RFM Outside broadcast crew, MC Teddy and ZJ Nova, will be live on location with all the giveaways and sweet reggae music from Yardman Petroleum Service Station. Starting at 11 a.m., come and get the new, bigger, safer gas cylinder from Yardman LPG this Friday in Junction St. Elizabeth. It's a Yardman thing. Good.
The Halfway Tree Transport Center is the place to be on Friday, February 22, as the Heart Foundation of Jamaica launches Phase 4 of its anti-obesity campaign. Irie FM, your #1 station, will be broadcasting live from the location. Come out and enjoy an afternoon of entertainment. There will be prizes and surprises, free health checks, and much, much more. That's the live outside broadcast of the Heart Foundation of Jamaica's anti-obesity campaign. Friday, February 22, at the Halfway Tree Transport Center, coming to you live on the 107s. Come out and make 2019 your healthiest year ever.
Yeah, this is the Cutting Edge on RFM. On the line here, we have Jalani. Jalani, where the man?
Give thanks, brother Muta. Good night. Yeah, man, I'm well. Give thanks.
Yes. Yeah?
Yeah, man, I'm here.
Yeah, man, all right, yeah. Okay, so we are talking about this book where you say I go launch and now. We're out for a long little while, but it's first it's going to reach at Jamaica. Explain to the people where we are going with it.
Yes, give thanks and good night to the Cutting Edge family. On Monday, the 25th, at 6 o'clock at the university's regional headquarters, we are launching the book, Jah Kingdom, Rastafarian Pan-Africanism in the Age of Decolonization is the title of the book, and it's written by American-based Jamaican professor called Monique Bedassi. She is a fairly young scholar who comes out of a 12 tribes background. Her parents were members of that community, and apparently as she got into research in her graduate days, it took her to Tanzania on a mission of looking at Pan-Africanism. While she was there, she discovered that there was a repatriated community of Rastafari from Jamaica, and she was guided to them, and it ended up becoming her substantial project, which has been a history of Rastafari return from Jamaica to Tanzania. So the idea is that the book has been out for about 9 months or just under a year, but it hasn't really been launched in Jamaica. So the idea is to launch it on Monday at the regional headquarters.
So she's going to be here?
She will be here. So she's also expected to give a lecture about the whole repatriation context.
So the book is about ones who repatriate to Tanzania?
Yeah.
People like Rastas and other set of people. I realize now there's a whole heap of people who's not Rasta repatriate, you know.
Yeah, that is true, but the story really starts with a Rastafari couple who leave Jamaica.
Okay.
It also includes Ras Daniel Hartman, who also settled in Tanzania.
Yeah, years ago that.
Yes.
That's some 40 years ago that.
Yeah, man. The community that they are a part of, they moved from Jamaica in the 80s. So it really kind of begins to develop in a serious way, late 70s, early 80s. Yeah. And then now, as you know, Tanzania has a fairly large Rastafari.
Yeah. Now, why I mention Ras Daniel Hartman, because I did amongst group of ones when they left and go Tanzania.
Yeah.
You know, in them days, me, Bono, Kidosai, and all them one, and you know, it end up in have the biggest image in the order they come. That image of Daniel Hartman when in the water and them flashing blacks. And no people come to Jamaica because of that image there, you know. No people. You would like no.
Yeah, man, and people copy that whole scene from that time.
Yeah, because he used to do pencil drawing. All little dreadlocks, them and them thing, he used to draw them, yes.
He's still one of the most famous
artists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And considered one of the exceptional talents anywhere, because his things were like pictures when he used to work.
Yes, yeah, man. So he is featured in the book?
He's featured in the book because a big part of the early Jamaican community was his own involvement there.
Yes.
People like C.L.R. James was a part of the sustenance of the community. She was able to access letters from both sides, both James writing to them and them writing to James, and him sending all kinds of resources. And it also involves the Nyerere years, because you remember that Julius Nyerere had been invited to Jamaica.
Yes.
So the story really picks up on some almost invisible links and connections that real ordinary Jamaicans have been able to navigate to move into Africa in a way that people don't imagine that this movement has occurred.
Yes.
You know? So she actually calls it an interior history because even though she's a historian, her method has been really ethnography, which is doing interviews with the living people and sharing their archives and then putting them systematically together with their approval to share their bigger story.
Yeah. So tell me again, which date you say? Monday, you say?
It's Monday the 25th, which is next Monday.
Where?
It starts at 6 o'clock. It is happening at the University of the West Indies, its regional headquarters, which is the building across the road up the front gate. So most people are accustomed to events happening on the main campus. This is just across at the
new campus.
The new building.
On the right, when you turn, before you turn in, you go up on the right.
Before you're turning.
Yeah.
There's a public lecture, and the whole context of this repatriation to Tanzania, we believe that it should be of real interest to members of our community generally.
Yeah.
Particularly those with the 12 tribes background. She comes out of that space, and it might give a nice compliment to the whole Shashamane story by way of the similarities and differences that took place along the way. We're really inviting the Cutting Edge family to come and share with us. It's a free admission, and, you know, Rastafari, this is our subject in particular. We have been assisted by a number of people, including Reparation Council. We want to thank them, you know. So it has a large...
I want them to mention a sister named Betty Dell for tonight.
I'm not sure. I don't remember that name.
Betty is a good friend of ours who did have a restaurant out here. And she decides that she go pack up and go to Tanzania, and she opened the same restaurant over there. And she seemed to be doing quite well, Betty Dell first.
In what time frame you talking?
About 5 years now, 6 years.
Oh, no. No, she would have stopped her work by then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she would have stopped her.
Yeah, about 6-7 years now, Betty Dell.
She may know her, but I don't think it would be...
Well, I know it would amazing if she don't know her, because she have a really very influential along the right now in terms of her restaurant and being Jamaican and left Jamaica and just go live, you know?
Well, you know, in a sense, though, Muta, you know, there are many people who have disappeared into Africa and really creating waves on the ground, you know, many simple Jamaicans. And the food business is a big part of what many people go and immediately offer.
Well, make I tell you something, Bridget. The other day, 2 weeks ago, over there, Ghana did the outside broadcast. I don't know if you did hear it, but...
I did hear you.
It's a brethren from Constitution Hill.
You big him up.
Jam Rock restaurant. Who want to heal him up, you know, him and him wife down there. Him is not a Rasta, him wife and a Rasta. But me I tell you, say, them set up, I mean... We're talking about classy, upscale restaurant, you know.
But you say, Mota, what you know that once you leave Jamaica, Jamaican menus is high-class menu everywhere it's offered, meaning that it's well sought after and very expensive food.
It was nice to really see that, and the brethren say anytime of the day, you know, It's just that him not cook when me eat, but...
I figure that you can't eat when him cook. You know,
no, because if no one say him cook pork, and me have to bring it out while you have to break it. Now, because me a Rasta, man. Tell the people that say you cook pork, but if them come and they want pork, you can't get it, you know. But...
So, him not doing the ital dishes for Rasta?
I don't know if you can do ital in a restaurant like that, you know.
Okay, I hear you.
You can't do vegetarian food. But I don't know you're going to do ital, so we'll have a mix-up plate, them and mix up this and mix up that. Anyway, the book is Monday, you say?
Yeah, man.
Yes.
University Regional Headquarters starting at 6.
6 o'clock.
We ask the people come on time to hear what she has to say, which is new for our audience.
All right, I'm going to try remember. Trust me, I'm going to try
Yeah,
remember.
man, we're looking forward to
There's so much things that go on, it's unbelievable.
Muta, event like that can't happen without the icon. So we really appreciate
No, watch out. That thing never face me now. Them argument, they don't face me now. Oh, by them argument, they don't face me at all. All right, give thanks, Bridget.
Give thanks, my brother.
Yeah, man. This is the Continental IRFM.
Rumbar, white overproof rum. The new taste are the best under the sun. And you know when we raise in the bar, put it somewhere them can't take it up. 100% Jamaican. Yo, the rum is smooth in a man. Share a drink on the ends with your friends. Rumbar of the fight for the link up them. Raise the bar, them can't take it up. Raise the bar, them can't take it up. Rumbar, white overproof rum. Ching!
Must be 18 years or older. Drink responsibly.
Change Experience 2019 is coming to Kingston, Jamaica. Join Creflo and Taffy Dollar as they bring you inspirational teaching and healing in the 3 Holy Spirit-filled sessions. Receive revelation, healing, and prayer on Friday, February 22nd at 10 a.m., 2 p.m., and 7 p.m. at the Pegasus Hotel, 81 Knutsford Boulevard. Let the light of God's Word ignite your faith and strengthen you. Invite your family and friends to join you. Tickets are free. Register today at CrefloDollarMinistries.org.
Turn up Mega Vibes, the college edition, Thursday, February 21st, Work Gardens, Massacre Live, and anything going on. Mega Vibes is larger than life, humongous. Capture the place like Columbus. You understand, man? Ladies free all night, admission only 500, Thursday, February 21st. Smirnoff Mega Vibes, Young
Must be
General.
18 or older, ID required, drink responsibly.
Come now!
New Downey, unstoppable, explosive, fresh.
You have no money for go there, one. And the doctor thing don't cure you, it don't go help you. For every 24 hours, you have to take back the same thing, you know, every 24 hours.
Right. It's not healing. The idea is to heal the body, and those drugs are not, don't have an affinity with the body. So the body is not healing. But I don't know where the turnaround came, where we left the natural healing and...
Well, it came when we bring we on here, so it came when they bring we on here. Outside our own environment as African people, and start to instill in us everything where we used to do. Don't make no sense, you know. So we start to do for them medicine, for them God, for them food, for them clothes, everything.
Yes, but you know, the time has come for us to turn all of that around.
Definitely.
Because if you look around you, you see the whole world is just sick.
Yes.
And we have more medicines now than we've ever had
before. I have more sick people. How that possible?
Yes,
more medicine and more sick people
than ever.
Yes,
so we have to change that. We have to turn that around, because there's a saying that I remember a naturopath said back in the 19th century. He said, "Man does not die; he commits suicide."
Yes.
And basically, that is what we're doing. And right now, Jamaica is right up there with the front runners when it comes to the sickness and disease. You know, up there with the bigger countries, and we're top of the list with prostate cancer. And all the other degenerative diseases, we're up there competing. Diabetes, arthritis, high blood pressure, heart problems, fibroids, all of these things.
Trauma.
Are just running rampant.
Yeah. All right, so tell the people them where them can find you. Where in Kingston is?
At the moment, I'm arranging some local projects in the community. The projects are free.
Which communities?
I'm finding a lot of people are not being able to afford to get well once they get sick. So
which community are in? Which community are you in? Which community?
I'm just outside of Spanish Town. And
outside of Spanish Town is a big place, you know. I mean, you have to tell me exactly which part. You have Angelites, you have John's, St.
Right. Well, I'm the projects I'm running are going to be they're countrywide. So one of them I'm starting in Angel. One is in the center of Spanish Town itself, and I'm starting another one in Kingston and one in St.
So all them going to know where to find you, because I said one in there. All them going to find
Yes, they can call me. They can call me and talk about it, and they can call me on 876-405-4609. Or 861-2377.
And who them ask for?
Dr. Senna, Dr. Khalifa Senna.
Dr. Khalifa Senna. Okay, Dr.
Yes.
Khalifa Senna.
Yes, or they can go on my website, which is drkhalifasenna.com.
Okay.
And these projects I'm starting, they are free to the community, and it's about education.
So when you plan to start that? When you plan to start it?
I'm starting them right now. Some of them I'm starting.
But that's what I asked you. If you're starting it right now, where's the place? What's the address
right.
of the place?
Well, what I'm doing is reaching out to the local communities and the churches, and I have one starting soon in Angel.
You don't have no address for the place. You don't have no address.
It's a church in it's best that they call me.
But it's a whole heap of church there, Angel. It's a whole heap of church.
Yes, it's best that they call me, and I'll tell them where the nearest project is.
All right, Mama, give thanks.
Yes, or if there are churches or community groups, or they can call me and they can arrange for me to come and run the project with them.
Okay, all right, give thanks.
Yeah.
Give thanks.
All right, thanks. God bless.
Yes. Okay. The sister have an intention, as far as I'm hearing. There's an intention she have. Okay. We have two things to play. Which one you want to hear first? We don't advertise MGX already, you know. We just watch out. Vital laugh. We just advertise, so we're going to play Hear Me. So, so we're going to play Hear Me. As soon as 12 o'clock, Hear Me will take longer than that, So I think we can play this before we play the Hear Me, because this is not so long. This not so long at all. I can see if I can find it, sir. I tell you why. I say, you see this thing about preaching and passing and thing? Well, I don't know. Me no want to go heaven, No, me no want to go up there. You know the Bible say war broke out in heaven? Me no want to go up there. Me I stay, Me I inherit everything when me supposed to inherit. Me no want to go to heaven, because you go to heaven, you go to see the same thing them. The same liar and thief them up there. See, the car war broke out in heaven. War broke out in heaven, you ever hear about it? A big war too, And if war broke out in heaven, and them people we are preaching, the people them attack, tell the people them lie and wicked and thief. And then you have some little pedophiles and all sorts of set of people. We'll tell you about heaven. And chop the little picnic them. See the Pope have to call all them big clerk, and the biggest one him a call them in to talk to them, because here's the problem with them thing they know. You see, when these little person chop your little picnic and them get fined out, them not go to jail, Them shifts them from one rectory to the next place and carry them over there, so them not answer to the law. Them not answer to the law of the country. Because some of them get immune to certain law. And a whole heap of them, especially the Catholic one, them. We have a sister we're going to interview next week. We're going to interview her next week, where she is a victim of these people. But then you have the one them who sexual, and you have the one them who monial. I can't say monial is a new word. Monial. For them things is to scrape money out of you. Them scrape money out of you. And you like an idiot. Black people stand up there. I hear the man them and tell them some must give them money. Because them want to buy this and them want to buy plane and you have one that say what them going to buy $60 million plane. Hey, them people are wicked, you know. And you know the weirdest thing about it? You remember you did have well, this one I used to tell them about put your hand on the radio again long before you born. No man, Jimmy Sockers is the one where that catch ore down in New Orleans. Him did that. And them catch him the first time, you know, and him repent and him cry upon the TV and I say, him sorry and him go back. Him go back in New Orleans, him go back again, go do it. Where name Baker, Jim Baker, the man name. We tell the people, hey, them used to tell them to put, hey, first time I pick, you know. You see, when my granny turned on her radio pass, we call one station, you know, Radio Fusion, one station. You see, when she turned on her radio, and the pass, a white boy too, you know, them didn't know black preacher more than so, you know. A white boy, them a preacher, you know. And say, put your hand on the radio for healing. May I tell you, man, everybody hand upon the radio, you know. And all me see my granny put her hand on the radio, you know. Me no see nothing, no different to her. She still a walk with her arthritis. She still a smoke her cigarette back ways. Because them used to put the cigarette, them put the part with the smoke, in the light part in her mouth. You ever think about that yet? Them put the light part of the cigarette in her mouth. The light part. And puff it. And when my granny tell me must run go up a Dickie shop, up at Jonestown, there, so Dickie bar, go buy a flask of brandy. And you can't get her out of your brandy, you know. And then she have the chimney. She have some rotted can on her foot, you know, because, you know, when they go to church, they wear the tightest shoes. And I walk funny. I see, oh, them get to that, you know what she used to do now? She used to soak it in a wee, you know. Because you used to put for the first time, you tile it out the door, you know. And like first time, you know, when you get up out of your bed and go right now, you tile it, you know. First time you get up, you have to put on clothes and walk, go out across the other side of the yard for go to the toilet and the bathroom. Well, them used to have chimney, where people put chimney under the bed. And you're peeping at your chimney. Well, my granny used to take the chimney, the peepee, and put her foot in it to soften up the can. And you see when she grabbed a razor there, you can have the razor nowhere, it come like a knife, you know. You can't close it up and open it. Because it have an angle. You see when them start cut corn, may I tell you, man, roast, boil, fry corn, everything, make carveal and everything. These people who come into Jamaica now, who feel, say, we need somebody to save we. And catch the people them. Because them can tell you all that thing about Jesus Christ and Lord. And it's the wickedest split of people them from land, you know. Them and the politicians, you know. Them and the politicians, the two wickedest set of people them, you know. And them have them big tent, and them gather thousands of people in the tent. I talk about heal this and heal that and heal that. Them have everything where them want. And you have to walk at church. Them have them Mercedes Benz that drive past you and you have to walk at church. Them can afford to send them picnic go to Miami. And when them want a doctor, them not go to public hospital. Them go to foreign. And them come to Jamaica. Them come to Jamaica continuously. We want to play one of them. Where are the wickedest thing me here. The wickedest thing me here, man. He might ask the congregation for $69 million to buy a plane. 69 because I'm have to travel to the Lord work. You think the people are easy? You think the people, if can't travel in a first class, you know, if I forget him own plane, because the weight of the world, the Lord, depend him have to go save niggers. And he's a nigger too, you know, have to go save niggers. in Africa. So you need a plane where it's suitable for the trip. You understand? So, them go to Africa, them go all of these places to try to save the souls of black people. Them try to save the souls of black people by giving them the doctrine where enslaved black people in the first place. That is why we have Black History Month. We have Black History Month to remind us that you have some niggas out there that is almost wickeder than the slave master them. Because them perpetuate white supremacy in a black flesh. Where we are used to tell them a roast breadfruit, black outside and white inside. And they make the people them believe it. Tell them have some telephone line to God, to Jesus, where you not have. And you have to come to them. And the only way you can go through, you know, like when the Roman Catholics say you have to go through Mary, Holy Mary, Mother of God. You have to go through Mary for reach Jesus, for reach God. Well, them I show you, say, you have to go through them. Forget the Holy Spirit, the Holy Ghost in you. And meanwhile, them I do that. You still a walk God church. Meanwhile, them I do that. Black people, life, as a collective, still in a mess. And them have what it is to help black people. But first, them have to set up themselves. Imagine a man I go have a nice Mercedes Benz. And grandmother walk come to church every Sunday. And I give him $100 in the plate, $200 in the plate. And she go back home every Sunday. For years. And guess what? She never see him on the road yet. Because them no walk on road. But them might give you something named gospel. Like the politician them might give you. The politician promise you good living when you're alive. And the preacher promise you good living when you're dead. And none of them no want to go to heaven because them say you have to dead for go to heaven. And if them did that dead for heaven, go stand up on the highway. Go stand up in the middle of the highway when the trailer come. And make you reach a heaven quick. One of them did that prayer say, the Lord call him, you know. I see him baker, you know. Him say the Lord call him, and if him not get $10,000, 10 million, sorry, not 10,000, them the man ask for $1,000, you know. Me was start, you know, like my wife tell me to start a church. She tell me to start a church, you know, I'm reluctant to know and do it, you know. The man asked for $10 million. $10 million. Or else the Lord are going to take him. And in less than a month, you know, the congregation and all them followers, them on TV and everybody, him get the 10 million, you know. Now, if him a tell you, say, black people, only so fool. If a man come on the radio and I tell you, say, if him not get $10 million, the Lord are going to take him. Then what is the purpose of preaching to you? Not to you want the Lord take you. If you want the Lord take you, and a man come to you and say, you know, to the Lord are going to take me if me not get $10 million. So why you want the $10 million? The first instance that you want to go to heaven, and if the Lord take you, you will go to heaven. And if you go to heaven, you're all right. So why you want $10 million? Don't you? Where you want to go buy? Send your wife go to Paris to have an eyelash, eye lipstick, if you want to see her, you know, Rasta. If you want to the woman, if you want to the wife, you know. Them terrible, you know. Terrible. And black people just, and see them on the TV every day, and the lie and the trick. And it's not like all a man who, like all me know, we're not righteous. Me not righteous. I mean, I sell myself as a righteous person. But the man, they sell themselves as spokesperson for the Lord because them washing the blood of the Lamb. And only way now you can get that service is to come to them and full up the tray with dollars all over the place. Terrible people. The time is 5 minutes past 12 o'clock.
Brothers and sisters, this is Chalice. Join us with respect for our national anthem. Let us stand and defend this one. Peace and love. Thank you.
Eternal Father, bless our land. Guide us with thy mighty hand. Keep us free from evil powers. Do our life through countless hours. To our leaders, great defenders, grant true wisdom from above. Justice, truth, be ours forever. Jamaica, land we love. Jamaica, 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 land we
Cutting edge, same Mutabaruka, same IRFM, same.
Yes, lie down bar, same.
And Mr. Robbie, same.
Stay tuned RFM, Mutabaruka, cutting edge.
Same.
What's happening here? Place so dark it seems I'm bound to scare.
We so come to the past one. Amy Jakes Garvey is Marcus Garvey's second wife. For those of you who don't know. And Amy Ashwood Garvey is Marcus Garvey's first wife. Well, what we're going to play now is a part of a speech that was recorded by Amy Ashwood. I don't know if any other recording is there of her voice, and even after the singing in the meetings, them used to sing in the meetings. So here we go. We played before, but we like to say we keep playing these things because people never did hear sometime, or people did forget. But I want to listen to keenly when she talk about Marcus Garvey and which part him used today. Right? Listen keenly to what she said about Marcus Garvey and where him used to play and live.
This is a souvenir recording in memory of the Honorable Marcus Garvey, the Jamaican hero who pointed the way to African independence in his clarion call for a new day and a new and greater destiny for his people.
Ethiopia, the land of our fathers, a land where the gods love to be. Where storm cloud and night sudden gathers, armies come rushing to thee. We must in the fight be victorious when swords are thrust and men to kneel. For us will the victory be glorious when led by the red, black and green. Advance, advance to victory, let Africa be free. Advance to meet the foe, advance to meet the foe, with the might of the red, the black and the green, with the might of the red, the black and the green.
The body of Marcus Garvey slumbers, but his immortal spirit, like a mighty dynamo, vital, alive, ennobling, still inspires his people along the path to human dignity, racial pride, and national sovereignty. The ideals for which he fought, lived, and died.
Shine on, eternal light, to greet us all this day. Dispel the loneliness of night and drive all doubts away. Our longing eyes prepare when war and strife shall cease, to view the sun to appear, the wheel of fear.
That was the processional hymn. Time marches on, death rends asunder the filial bond that links the human heart. Life's drama folds and refolds, and the melody of the immortal greats and their accomplishments linger on. Listen to the spiritual self of the immortal Marcus Garvey, in poetry, in song, and in music. The memory of a people is best portrayed.
Oh, Africa, awaken, the morning is at hand. No more art thou forsaken, oh, bounteous motherland. Far from thy sons and daughters are hastening back to thee. On the waters that Africa shall be free. O land of tropic splendor, of bright blue skies above, to thee our best we tender, O land of light and love. Someday we'll know thy story, we'll drink thy cup of mirth, revive thine ancient glory, and bring the gods to earth. Oh,
Ladies and gentlemen, who was Marcus Garvey? Who was this man whom Bishop Ranson of the AME Church called the mightiest prophet of the age? Who was this man of whom the erudite James Weldon Johnson once said, he had the daring and energy of the Napoleonic personality that draws masses of followers. He stirred the imagination of the masses as no other leader ever had. In the course of time, this man, Garvey, brushed aside the Goliaths of the first independent nation in the Caribbean, and he became Jamaica's first national hero. Who was Marcus Garvey? Marcus Messiah Garvey was a man earthbent for the eternal search of oneness with the universe. He was born at sunrise in the beautiful garden parish of St. Anne, Jamaica, West Indies, on the 17th day of August, 1887, near the falls of the roaring river, where Ranson of the AME Church called the mightiest prophet of the age.
No, I want you to listen to what you say now. This is a very important part of the whole thing. This is Amy Ashford Garvey speaking. And she telling you when Marcus Garvey born and which part him born I want you to listen carefully to what she said. Okay, so here we go again.
Who was this man of whom the erudite James Weldon Johnson once said, he had the daring and energy of the Napoleonic personality that draws masses of followers. He stirred the imagination of the masses as no other leader ever had. In the course of time, this man, Garvey, brushed aside the Goliaths of the first independent nation in the Caribbean, and he became Jamaica's first nation of the AME Church called the might of the Napoleonic personality that draws masses of followers. He stirred the imagination of the masses as no other leader ever had. In the course of time, this man, Garvey, brushed aside the Goliaths of the first independent nation in the Caribbean, and he became Jamaica's first national hero. Who was Marcus Garvey? Marcus Mosiah Garvey was a man earthbent for the eternal search of oneness with the universe. He was born at sunrise in the beautiful garden parish of St. Anne, Jamaica, West Indies, on the 17th day of August, 1887, near the falls of the Roaring River, where he...
All right, so this is the part where I want you to hear which part she say Marcus Garvey born, when she say him born. Very important.
Near the falls of the Roaring River, where he grew with nature and drank much of her inspiration. He was of humble birth and was the 8th child of Sarah and Marcus Mosiah Garvey Sr. Garvey was born in an atmosphere of prophecy. When his father first saw him, so close a resemblance did he bear him. He was overcome with joy, and he lifted him up in his arms and cried out, "Your name shall be Mosiah, and you shall someday be a Moses." There was nothing in the drab lamplit setting in which Garvey stood to speak in his native St. Anne that night in October 1914, which gave the slightest flicker of the shape of things to come. No one present, not even Garvey himself, believed that the stern-faced man standing so nervously before him in Jamaica would someday hold a star aloft and urge millions to gaze on it and follow him. Marcus Garvey set out on the lonely trail of smashing many of the preconceived ideas which made the black man inferior in his thinking, such as to believe that he was belonging to a vicious and predestined evil race, that God and the angels were white, that he, the black man, personified the devil, who was reputedly black, that he was the likeness of black magic and misfortune, the son of Ham, a hewer of wood and drawer of water, and that all the creation of the dominant white civilization, calculated to foster the concept of white supremacy, was ordained by God. Garvey was an angry man. He smote his chest and demanded to know the author of the scurrilous wicked forgery 4,000 years after Noah had gone to his grave in peace. When he spoke in Madison Square Garden, he served notice on all the nations squatting in Africa to get out before the wrath of 400 million black men, women, and children hurled them into the sea. Arising from obscurity, Garvey's never-to-be-forgotten oratory took him to the very apex of fame. Millions unquestionably followed him. Such were the conditions of his people, bowed down with inferiority complex for hundreds of years, that Garvey visibly touched to tears and compassion in the deliverance of his message, emphatically thundered, "Up, ye mighty race! You can accomplish what you will. The black man of yesterday has disappeared from the stage of human activities forever, and in his place stands a new man, erect, conscious of his manhood and rights, and fully determined to preserve himself at all costs. Marcus Garvey, in his finest hour in Liberty Hall, New York, in the 1920s, addressing the Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League, said so many things applicable to the conditions of today. To read the world's history of races written by some writers gives the impression that the black man amounted to nothing in the creation. We are satisfied, however, to know that our race gave the first great civilization to the world. For centuries, our ancestral home was the seat of learning, and here black men who were fit for the gods were philosophers, scientists, artists, and men of vision and leadership. On the other hand, our traducers were groping in darkness and continental barbarism. Black men, you were once great, and you will be great again. Great men have come out of Egypt, out of Ethiopia, out of Africa, Sahara. Great men will come out of America, the West Indies, and the islands of the seas. Our history is as great as that of any race or people, and nothing on this side of heaven or hell will make us deny it, notwithstanding the false treaties, essays, speculation, and philosophies. Their arrogance is but skin deep, and an assumption that has no foundation in morals nor law. When we were embracing the sciences on the banks of the Nile, when our civilization had reached the noonday of progress, their ancestors were still running naked and sleeping in holes with bats, rats, and other animals. Garvey's messianic message to the groping millions of his race would surely bring him to Golgotha. His leadership would emancipate millions from the shackles of mental and moral servitude. It was the great gulf, it was the violent contrast between the upper and middle classes and the people of his race which made the first telling impact on the mind of the youthful Garvey. Illiteracy and grinding poverty were the two decisive factors which contributed to his impact. Like Socrates, Garvey geared himself for his cup of hemlock, like a Christ on his way to a blood-stained cross. Before his death, however, in 1940, he would have the satisfaction of knowing that a squalid century after the emancipation of 1838, the men and systems against whom he fought such a good fight had lost forever their footing on the ladder of imperial and economic power. Marcus Garvey left you a special message, my children. Let no voice but your own speak to you from the depths. Let no voice but your own rouse you in time of peace or war. Hear all, but attend only to that which concerns you. Your allegiance shall be to your God, then to your family, race, and country. Remember always that the Jew, in his political and economic urge, is always first a Jew. The Caucasian is first a Caucasian under all circumstances, and you can do no better than to be first and always a black man. Be sure to teach your children science and religion, for it lies as our only hope to withstand the evil designs of modern materialism. Lift up your hearts and repeat to yourselves the words of the African poet Terence. I am a man, and I think that nothing that is common to humanity is foreign to me. Garvey endeared himself to his thousands of listeners when he dramatized and immortalized the heroes and heroines of Afro-American history. Through the power of his oratory, Garvey showed them that Sojourner Truth and Harriet Tubman were equally deserving of a niche in the Hall of Fame as Martha Washington and Betsy Ross. They were made to feel that the muse which inspired Phyllis Wheatley was no less fine than that of Elizabeth Barrett Browning. The black poet Paul Laurence Dunbar was made to take his place with the great poets of the world. It was seen that the African General Hannibal surpassed Napoleon in military genius, and Toussaint Louverture and Antonio Maceo were worthy of comparison with George Washington and Lord Kitchener. Marcus Garvey's spellbound audiences heard that Crispus Attucks was as great as Patrick Henry, and that the Ethiopian Queen of Sheba outshone Britain's Queen Victoria in the splendor of her court. Solomon, in his wisdom, towered above Gladstone. King Menelik was more than Abe Lincoln. Never before had the descendants of the slaves been so uplifted. Marcus Garvey delivered that message, and all the world wondered. Africa for the Africans, those at home and those abroad. It was the same message delivered 4,000 years before by the Jewish patriot. Let my people go. Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of his journey, we pause to assess his work and worth. We find that Marcus Garvey has left his people in America at the crossroads of history and destiny. The now 38 independent states in Africa are the first of the fruits of them that slept in the chronology of his prophecy. To quote his own words, "Hail, United States of Africa, hail." Also Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados, Guyana, and his own homeland, Jamaica, still on the wave of freedom. The associated states within the British Commonwealth of Nations, Grenada, Antigua and Barbuda, Montserrat, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Vincent, St. Lucia, Dominica, Anguilla, and the British Virgin Islands, flying the flag of freedom and independence and echoing the voice of Marcus Garvey. Whatever his failings, Marcus Garvey brought fresh hope and courage to his people. Mankind has benefited because Marcus Garvey passed here. And who knows, but someday posterity will confirm him in the title of the Black Moses. Then millions of black men, women, and children will make the pilgrimage to his shrine in Jamaica, for they will have come to pray and kneel at the tomb of the father of African independence. Oh, he vowed to win his race its destiny, to lift them up from ignorance and hell. With deathless courage, fashioned victory, fighting on equal field. What if he failed? He's gone, 'tis true, but history yet will tell that Marcus Mosiah Garvey did his work, and he did it well.
Balancing truth and the controversy, addressing the youth and their calamity, motivated by concern for the whole of our liberty, the promise of a new reality, the cutting edge of true intensity, sole provider for the whole of our family, the force of brutal non-conformity, the cutting edge.
How great it is, science and technology, that we could have preserved this woman's voice to play it years after, so that I and I, them, we, us, can listen forward and say, yes, here's a woman who stand up for her husband, her ex-husband, and spout his philosophy to the world, and then come Amy Jakes Garvey. Wow. I tell you, man, it's sweet. It's sweet just to listen to her talk, but turn your fool, man. A serious thing, because them have the people them in them claw. Worse than the white supremacists them who use them religion for oppress way for how much years now. But we are free ourselves from it, you know. We are free ourselves from all of the bossy slave them. The bossy slave them who dress up in a suit every day and I go and like say them want, tell you say them have a special phone line to God Almighty in the name of Jesus. Yes, all them tell you that is that. I can see if I can play this thing for the people. I mean, this is a pass, yeah. You say I come to Jamaica, you to believe you me, I want to play this. You're not the first to play it, you know, because if I can get it on the line, so.
Every Sunday, the Reverend Creflo Dollar packs him in under the World Dome, his 8,500-seat church outside Atlanta. The pew.
All right, we're going to figure out We can figure it out, how to get it higher so now, that the people them can hear it properly. We could go back to the beginning.
Are filled, and so are the donation plates.
The Word of God is the gateway to the world of wealth.
The man whose last name literally means money in the United States often suggests to his 30,000 parishioners, the more they give, the more God will deliver financial blessings to them.
Which is basically the Christian gospel turned on its head, turned upside down. And it's to honor Creflo Dollar and not so much about honoring God.
Despite his critics, Dollar's popularity and wealth have continued to grow, and all that revenue is tax exempt, with little or no way to know how much he has or how he spends it.
What that means is, it sounds technical, but what that means is as a church, he doesn't have to give financial information to anybody, and so therefore he doesn't.
But there are ways to get a glimpse of some of that wealth. From where else? The heavens. This is a satellite view of Dollar's Georgia home, worth more than $2.3 million. These New York records show Dollar and his wife sold their Manhattan condo for $3.75 million. And that's not all. Dollar's appeal for a private jet may take the cake.
We are believing for 200,000 people to give contributions of $300 or more.
Doing the math, that's $60 million. The head of the World Changers megachurch in Atlanta asked for the donations in this almost 6-minute video, dubbed Project G650, as in Gulfstream 650. Dollar's already a high flyer.
We're about to land in Nairobi, Kenya.
But it seems his current jet, built in 1984, is showing its age. Engine trouble on a flight to Australia, and more recently, when his wife and daughters were taking off from London, it went off the runway.
A car where you can pull over on the side when something goes wrong. And I knew it was time to begin to believe God for a new airplane.
It didn't take long for the story of the Jesus jet, as some have dubbed it, to take off, and not in a good way. This woman is a former parishioner. She showed up Sunday to protest, but got told to leave church property.
Creflo didn't have a jet when I was here, and now he has one, and he's asking for another one.
But parishioner Mary Jones, who takes the bus to church, says she'd happily give to Dollar's jet drive.
Most definitely, most definitely. We support our pastor. That's what we're here for.
Dollar asks parishioners to give 10% of their income to the church, but gives no public accounting of how the millions are spent. MinistryWatch.com is a website that helps donors tell financially the good from the bad.
We have in the past identified 30 of the top ministries and 30 of the worst ministries. And unfortunately, Creflo Dollar fell into the worst category. And the main reason for that was his lack of financial transparency.
To find out more of how Dollar wants to spend his dollars, I called Daniel Jennings. He's a big seller of private jets.
This isn't kind of an entry-level jet. It's not even a mid-level jet.
This is the top of the game jet.
The Gulfstream 650 is the largest, longest distance, second fastest private jet in the world. And to get one, Dollar may need more than money. He might need divine intervention. The wait for a new one is 4 years, and there are only 4 used ones for sale in the entire world.
If I wanted to buy a gently used one, what do you think that did set me back?
Low 70s, 71, 72 million.
Do they finance?
Yo, may I tell you? May I tell you, these people are unbelievable. And it's them I come save you, you know. Yeah, man, and them I come save you. From the attack claps of the Lord, them going to save you. The things are them easy. And then you have black people who stand up every Sunday, suffering like dog. I wait for God heaven. While these people have them heaven right here on earth. Right here on earth. Many of them call them televangelists. Televangelist people them who come in the name of the blood of Jesus for rob poor people of them money. Take with them money and talk about say them a give them blessing. Only if you find out say them now live like how you are live. Them a live like rock star. Them a live like rock star. Hey, what a fire. I don't know what a fire go burn for them people. I don't fire now burn for them, you know.
I have
no
sinned
fire now go burn for them.
my Lord.
Them not going nowhere more than them just dead.
Can be a
and
little
left them well for them family.
I have sinned
and that's it. And we
against you,
still
my
sit down
Lord.
and so I thought what we want guy heaven when them have for them things right as up on earth. Right here so on earth them have for them one.
I have sinned against you, my Lord.
Okay, TV evangelists can be a little over the top, but Creflo Dollar's appeal for a private jet may take the cake.
We are believing for 200,000 people to give contributions of $300 or more.
Doing the math, that's $60 million. The head of the World Changers megachurch in Atlanta asked for the donations in this almost 6-minute video, dubbed Project G650, as in Gulfstream 650. Dollar's already a high flyer.
We're about to land in Nairobi, Kenya.
But it seems his current jet, built in 1984, is showing its age. Engine trouble on a flight to Australia, and more recently, when his wife and daughters were taking off from London, it went off the runway.
It's not like a car where you can pull over on the side when something goes wrong. And I knew it was time to begin to believe God for a new airplane.
It didn't take long for the story of the Jesus jet, as some have dubbed it, to take off, and not in a good way. This woman is a former parishioner. She showed up Sunday to protest, but got told to leave church property.
Creflo didn't have a jet when I was here, and now he has one, and he's asking for another one.
But parishioner Mary Jones, who takes the bus to church, says she'd happily give to Dollar's jet drive.
Most definitely, most definitely. We support our pastor. That's what we're here for.
Dollar asks parishioners to give 10% of their income to the church, but gives no public accounting of how the millions are spent. MinistryWatch.com is a website that helps donors tell financially the good from the bad.
We have in the past identified 30 of the top ministries and 30 of the worst ministries. And unfortunately, Creflo Dollar fell into the worst category. And the main reason for that was his lack of financial transparency.
To find out more of how Dollar wants to spend his dollars, I called Daniel Jennings. He's a big seller of private jets. This isn't kind of an entry-level jet. It's not even a mid-level jet.
This is the top of the game jet.
The Gulfstream 650 is the largest, longest distance, second fastest private jet in the world. And to get one, Dollar may need more than money. He might need divine intervention. The wait for a new one is 4 years, and there are only 4 used ones for sale in the entire world. If I wanted to buy a gently used one, what do you think that did set me back?
Low 70s, 71, 72 million.
Do they finance?
The people, them drop them out in the program like, wow. Them no care what time, as long as it there at the cutting edge. So, you hear them around, say, we are invite the people them who listen to this program and the other one. So we're going to play some music because it's Black History Month, Reggae Month. So we're going to drop it in the yard. We're going to put the boom box out there, put all our mix and everything out there, and we're going to play some music for the people them. I guess food and drink are go out there. I don't think you're going to get it free. You can't get everything free. But we're going to open the gate free. From 1 o'clock, we're going to open the gate free. And you can just come in and just listen to the stepping razor, watch the stepping razor, and feel the stepping razor. I know say that no kick out and wine out and cock up this and all them something there we are promote. No. Black history, black music. And if you want to wear black turn or not, because we don't see black as wrong, because we see some student demonstrate up at UTech and them say wear black because it's terrible. So they must still see black as something, sinister and feel bad and no, we don't see it away there. So suppose you want to wear black. Me know me I wear black. I just let it go. You understand? But that is not the criteria for coming here still. Nor money. It just should know so well, boy, right now you hear the stepping razor and you can't come get stepping razor live in a RFM courtyard live. You understand? So yes, tomorrow the gate open 1 o'clock, we kick off from 2 o'clock. I know it's not a long thing, you know, because stepping razor on go 4 hours. Stepping razor on go 4 hours long, you know. We now go to 10 o'clock at the night, you know. We now go to 7 o'clock at the night, neither. You understand? We just play the music straight and intersperse it with some black history. Understand? Black. I just black. Black and black in black. So we hope to see you in the courtyard. We want to yell up. We don't know if we yell up in the night. We want to yell up for all the people that who sit up with me and listen to it. Yeah, man. May I tell you? All from Australia. No, man, somebody called me from Australia and said, Muta, like what you do, we can't stop. We can't stop, man. No, sir. Okay. And my brethren had the first him coming to the studio with me. I don't know what he might explain to me why him come to the studio tonight, especially. I don't know if it's him key, or him lady tell him say, "Don't come back on me yard," or something. But he might to tell me, he might explain to me of all the years and all the night. It's the first Vita ever come to the studio, come sit up with me. Believe you me. So I have to go find out what. As a matter of fact, you know, I don't ask him nothing. I go ask him lady. When I left here, I go ask him lady. Him in the studio with me from before the program start till now. All right, so here we are saying now. A cutting edge. Little more is stepping razor. Live. In the courtyard or the car park, whatever you want to call it. So if you want to come on, just come down. You're going to see somebody who you long to see. You're going to see somebody who the teeth your things for a long time and you try to figure out where them is there. You understand? You're going to just see someone who you can make friend with. It is all about Black History Month. It's all about black music. Because, you know, reggae music, heartbeat of the people, them. There's not, hey, watch out, there's no shortage and nothing for going on. I say every, I say that week I come like holiday weekend. I don't know how, a holiday? If I thought a holiday there during the weekend, I just advertised this thing at Lynn still a while ago. Dennis Brown show down on the waterfront there. Them have market, craft thing a go on in the street downtown. Them have Protoge's show. I go on. What I miss? I miss any fisherman thing with them retro vibe. Them last to come play down there. What them I deal with? Them know say me are the man all about the soul music them and all the disco music them. Them think I'm go reggae play though. I choose this a reggae station where you hear go reggae, you know. You are ask Iron Mum about way. We'll go Iron Mum party go play. People them drop the road and they couldn't believe some motor that I play. Okay, so here we are saying now. Black History Month with the fan.